Sonic X. Sonic X is my favorite Sonic cartoon. I remember watching it every day while I was getting ready for school, and it will always have a soft spot in my heart, despite not growing up with it when it came out. Although I was surprised by the sheer amount of merchandise the show had. Keychains, shirts, fake Lego figures, and the most important out of all of them being the plushes, and the figures, but anyway. There were several plush sets spanning across different places around the world. The FIFA plushes, the Sega Prize plush sets, along with the Sega Toy Sonic plushes, and even Toy Network. But there's one that caught my eye, because I kept forgetting about it, which is shocking, seeing that this set is made by one of the most popular Sonic plush makers ever. A set made by GE, the company that's been making Sonic plushes for almost 2 decades, giving us plushes of E102 Gamma, Fang, Tikal, and many more. Started off with a set, that being the GE Sonic X plush set, the first GE Sonic plushes. Being released around 2006, this set consists of 5 plushes: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, and Cream, with these becoming some of the most rare Sonic plushes to exist. So in today's video, I'll of course be reviewing them. So with that said, let's start with
rolling the speed of sound, gonna kiss that jog around. Got no plans, no situation, look in a new location without any explanation.
Let's start off with Sonic the Hedgehog, since I believe he's the best in the set. For first looks, this guy's pretty good, but I'm already seeing some issues. So let's talk about it. The facial expression is very good, and represents that 2000 Sonic look perfectly, having his iconic teeth showing smirk. Although speaking of that, let's talk about the muzzle. Depending on the plush, it can look different. I guess the muzzle is the only thing affected by the quality control, resulting in different muzzle shapes. I'll look at this plush with the face. It's well stuffed and relatively well shaped, and the nose is pretty decent as well. However, the mouth is I get they were trying to put it on the side, like how many Sonic plushes have done it before. But this is just too, it looks bad. It's way too off to the side. The eyes are good. Their eye or non are detailed well, although they are kinda big. The eyebrow looks a bit goofy. Maybe if it went a little bit more off the edge, it would have looked better. Still good, but not perfect. The ears are well cut and shaped. Something I do have to give credit to where it's due is the quills. Most Sonic plushes don't mess this up, and this plush is one of them. They're well stuffed and shaped, and are honestly impressive. The same can be said with the back spikes and the tail. The torso can also depend on the plush. Some have a classic-ish body, and some have a more accurate modern body, but they're all well stuffed and shaped. I want to address one of the more weird things about this plush. The pose is very strange, with one hand to the hip, and with the other just in the open. I'm not sure what they were trying to do here. I mean, you can always cut the stitching off to get them in the open. I just think it's a weird choice. Other than that, the fingers are stitched well. Lastly, the shoes. They look phenomenal. One of the things I liked about GE is how they do the shoes, with each part of the shoe being different pieces of fabric, and being separate to the plush. Overall, this Sonic is pretty okay. It's not perfect. It definitely has some issues, but for the first plush, it's decent. Although plush I'd say is, I don't know. Next we have
Live and learn, hanging off the edge of tomorrow. Live and learn, new words of yesterday.
Tails the Fox. This is a plush I'm very mixed on. On one hand, this looks very much like Sonic X Tails, but there's one big issue I could see on him. So let's go ahead and start. This guy's facial expression is very good, having the little smirk Tails donned in the 2000s. The muzzle for the most part is great, although some muzzles have an indent on the bottom. The nose is plastic, which looks very nice. The eyes are perfectly shaped and are done well. The side fur on the muzzle is cut well and are nice. The same can be said with the bangs. I also want to say the rest of the head is stuffed greatly. Now the only issue I have with this plush, the ears. Now themselves are cut and shaped fine. It's the inner part I have a problem with. I get what they were trying to do. They wanted to imitate the inner shading Tails has, but they really did a poor job with this plush's ears. Maybe if it was smaller and had a lighter gray inside, it would have looked great. Her torso is done well. The chest fur is separated from the body, with it being a stitch on overlay on the chest. Now the great thing about every Tails plush, the thing you can't get wrong with, the tails. They're shaped perfectly and are very accurate. And for the orange fur at the end, it's an overlay that goes over the white fur. That looks awesome. The arm's length is accurate, and the fingers are well stitched. And I do like how they gave him the gray bracelets. Lastly, the shoes are great. For one, they gave him the ankle bracelets, and the shoes just look good as a whole. Overall, this plush is very good, and it's just an amazing Tails plush. Despite the ears, I really think this is good. So now that we get that out of the way, let's look at the next goofy plush.
Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. They call me Knuckles, unlike Sonic I don't chuckle. I flex my muscles, I'm hard as nails, it ain't hard as—
Knock knock, it's Knuckles. This is the last plush for Wave 1. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, these guys came in waves. Team Sonic was Wave 1, then Wave 2 was Shadow and Cream. Anyway, back to this guy. If this plush looks familiar, then it should, since it's literally the same as the classic Knuckles they made 3 years after this one. Seriously, there's literally one difference, and that one has the modern eyes. Can we just take a minute to appreciate how awesome the new modern Knuckles is? Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. This Knuckles looks kinda weird, and downright goofy. I don't know if it's just me, but the head looks really big. In fact, this whole plush has classic Knuckles proportions. I do like the shoes. Most of it is made of a shiny fabric, contrasted to the rest of the plush, with the only normal fabric being on top of the shoe for the Lego brick, with the circles being glued on overlays, which of course can result in missing details on the shoes. The torso is pretty good. The crescent moon shape is well shaped. The arm's length is good. It allows for good playability for using the knuckles. Also, don't play with him, he costs money. Speaking of the knuckles, the hands are very decent. The thumb is stitched well, and the actual knuckles stick out enough, and are really good. The face is pretty bad and okay. I think the muzzle is too big, almost covers the whole face, and he has a drippy expression thanks to the eyes being so big. The nose and the mouth look fine though. I do really like the dreadlocks. They're very long and are well stuffed. A perfect example of dreadlocks on a Knuckles plush done right. Overall, this plush has some good in it, but it's still goofy. That's it for wave 1. Now we have...
Can you see all of me? Walk into a mystery. Stay inside, horrible deny. Can you remember me?
First up for wave 2 we have the Edgehog, and as much as I hate to admit it, this is the worst in the whole set, for many reasons. Let's start with the good. This guy's facial expression is accurate, the muzzle is well stuffed and shaped, and looks way better than Sonic's. Okay, that's actually it. That's all the good I could say. For one, the most noticeable error is the eyes, with a little red part underneath the eyebrow, going across the whole brow. It just looks so off and bad. The head is insanely huge. I just don't get it. The quills are extremely long. I mean, they are stuffed well, so I guess that's something. The torso is just... Did they even try with him? It's literally a circle, a very small one. And the arms and legs, man. The legs are a little too small, and the arms are very long. I mean, this just looks terrible, really. The shoes, I mean... Okay, they tried, but it seems like they just gave up. This whole plush is really bad, but it's the first shadow plush they made, and they would redeem themselves with the next shadow they would make, which looks awesome. Before I move on to the last plush, Cream, let's take a look at the tags. Starting with wave 1, it features artwork of the character you got, along with white text of the character's name, with the background having a colorful circle pattern, which does look very unique. And then there's generic information on the back. For wave 2, the tag's a bit different, and the information on the back is different, and some tags have the 15th anniversary logo. So yeah, anyway, wait, what? This wave has 15th anniversary plushes? Well, that doesn't help the rarity. Welp, anyhow, we still have one final plush, so let's look at...
Together we can show the world what we can do. You next to me and I'm next to you. Push it on through until the battle's won.
Last up we have Cream the Rabbit, and this is one of the best looking plushes in the set. Well, at least one version of her is. You see there's two versions of her. The original release and the second. The first one forgot about the eyelashes, with the second fixing that mistake, so that's some pretty interesting history. But after looking at Shadow, I'm not surprised they forgot that. This is actually genuinely a good looking plush. It's one of her best actually, which is not that hard to be. The muzzle looks great. Her mouth seems to be an iron-on decal, with the nose being a little plastic oval. The eyes are pretty well sized compared to the rest of the plushes. And like I said, the first plush had no eyelashes. The ears seem to be stitched onto the head. I say seem because I barely have any pictures of her. This plush is really hard to find for some reason. The ears though look great, especially the details, they're done well. Her dress looks very charming. Something about it looks homemade. I think it's the bow and how it's a very thin fabric. The arms and legs length is very accurate. Speaking of that, the height of this plush is so too, standing at a whopping 7 inches. The shoes are pretty decent. They look fine and get the job done. Overall, this plush is a nice one. Way better than Shadow, I can tell you that. So with that was the GE Sonic X plush set review. My overall thoughts on the set are mixed. Some I liked, and others I didn't. I'll give this set a 7.5 out of 10 overall. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, then consider subscribing. It's free and helps a lot. Just a reminder to leave any questions you have in the comments, so they can be featured in the 2000 subscriber Q&A video. So with that said, join the Discord, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.